contemplated ending it
My
all.
trauma is going to define me for
I have no hope.
the rest
God
of
is
my life.
abandoned.
My trauma
God
is
has
going to
abandoned me.
define me.
I have no hope.
My very first memory with my mom was when these uniformed men busted through our door. They came and took all of the drugs down from the cabinets and the wardrobes. My mom was on the kitchen floor just screaming and crying, my baby, my baby. And that was the last time I saw her for a while. Then I went to my first foster home. There was 10 beds in one room. There wasn't a lot of nurture or care like you hope to have when you're a kid. I just knew pretty fast that we weren't in like the best situation, but it was the lesser of two evils. I moved home after home after home. I suppose there were good ones in there, but none of them wanted me, long term. My file said I was unadoptable, troubled. By the time I had emancipated foster care at 18, I had lived in 12 different foster homes. Because I come from a background of trauma, because I've had these labels, I have to work a million times harder for people to take me seriously. I woke up, went to school, came home, and that was it. So I didn't really have very many friends because of the policies that surrounded my case. But during track season, I got to go to the track, and my track coach, Scott, he said that because of my grit that I could win the state track meet. And we were the only two people on the track. And I remember looking around and being like, is he talking to me? Because no one had said stuff like that to me, that I could do something like incredible. I had a really bad block start. And in my head, I was just repeating, keep form. And it was like Scott's voice, just keep form. I won. I ended up going to Hillsdale College on a full ride track scholarship. And in 2018, I became a part of the 3% of foster youth to graduate from college. I married my husband, Jacob, a week after college graduation. And we have two biological children, a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. And we adopted an 18-year-old a few months ago. My husband grew up going to the Global Leadership Summit, and he was actually on a work trip, and he kept texting me. He was like, you have to go to Global Leadership Summit. I ended up going, and I had no idea how much I needed it. God just spoke something so differently over me. It was like he asked me the question, like, what are you doing? And I know deep in my heart that I was meant to tell the story of what God had done in my life. I think that when people look at foster care or helping the underserved, they think that you have to be someone like so incredible and special. But if you look at what my track coach, if you look at what Scott did, he actually used what he had and met me where I was. And so I started with what I had and started sharing my story on social media. I wanted to encourage youth in foster care, kids who had come from abusive homes.
You truly will become what is spoken over you and what you believe about yourself.
And then it's like I started to educate foster parents from the perspective of the former foster youth and organizations and nonprofits in a way that I just really couldn't have imagined. I started the Beloved Initiative to give youth in foster care opportunities to share their stories and be empowered. I don't want to be a voice for the voiceless. The voiceless actually have voices. We should just be listening and lifting them up. I have over 300 messages in the past 2 years of people being encouraged, of people getting involved in foster care, of people adopting, and of people coming to Jesus because of the things I've shared.
Yesterday, I seriously contemplated ending it all. But then I saw your account. God used you to speak to me. You gave me hope.